So what is going on, guys? It's Triple G here, back with another Borderlands 3 video, and in today's video we're going to be going through the best and final top 5 assault rifles in Borderlands 3. Guys, if you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing to the channel or join us over on Twitch. We stream 5 times a week, and otherwise let's get straight into this video. So the first assault rifle we are going to be talking about is the OPQ. Now the OPQ system is a cartel exclusive weapon. However, the cartels have now been permanently added to Borderlands 3, meaning that you can get this weapon at any point in time. You can get up to 30,000-ish times 2, probably 35k times 2 on this weapon. Look out for the one that has the sight like this. This is my favorite sight, works really well. Next 2 magazines work exceptionally well as well. Its special ability does like a little shock nova on the enemies, which means that it does an absolute ton of damage, tearing through shields and enemies alike. This is probably the best of the 5, but let me know in the comments section below what order you would put these 5 in for the video. As it's Atlas, it's extremely accurate as well, works exceptionally well with fadeaway builds. You can just absolutely crush any content in the game, whether that's the Guardian takedown or anything like that. Up next, we have the No Pew Pew, which is another cartel specific weapon. This is a COV assault rifle, and I recommend, depending on the build that you have, next 2 magazines works exceptionally well here too. Obviously, being a COV, there is no reload time, but there is an overheat time. Specifically, the ×3 variant gives you the most amount of DPS because it overheats less, but most people go for the ×4. The No Pew Pew is an exceptional assault rifle, works in pretty much all scenarios. It does have a little bit of a charge up time when it starts, but once it is going, as you can see here, it will start just chewing through chunks of enemies. This is true takedown, and most of the time we're using a fire versus this shields and flesh bars, and we're having absolutely no problem at all just taking out these enemies very, very casually. Next on the list is the Soul Render. So the Soul Render is a DLC 2 exclusive, so you will need DLC 2 to obtain this, and it's from Tom and Zam in the Final Heart's Desire area of the actual DLC. Now this is a Dahl assault rifle, and its special ability is that it will fire extra projectiles for skulls just randomly. Now these skulls do get mayhem scaled. It can come in a burst and a semi-fire variant. Now I do recommend that you get it in full auto. It can be a little bit fiddly when firing in burst. When you fire in full auto, you do get much more projectiles, it seems, when you're doing it, and there is a distance of which the skulls won't proc. So if you are too far away, the skulls won't actually proc, but as you can see there, it does a ton of damage once those skulls hit, because those skulls, especially on flak, can also crit because of Mega Ball. Next on the list, we have the recently buffed the Rowan's Call. Now the Rowan's Call can drop from the Slaughter Star 3000, or it can world drop. I'd say you're probably better off world dropping it than having to do the 5 rounds of the Slaughter Star 3000. The Rowan's Call can come in a multitude of elements, and its special ability is when it crits, it creates these little splash tracking dots that then come back down and hit those enemies. When it is paired with Flak, who can crit with Megavore all the time, or if you're very accurate and you can hit those crits, you can do an absolute ton of damage. Again, I like next 2 magazines, but you could actually get like 125 splash and it'd still be very, very effective. When it recently got buffed, it put it back into a tier that kind of works like the Redistributor does. The more that you can hit crits, the more the enemies you can take out at the same time, and it works exceptionally well for most content in the game. And with the fact that it comes in radiation as well, it's just a really nice touch, because you can just chew through enemies where most enemies aren't immune to radiation in Borderlands 3. So finally on the list, we have the Monarch, and this is by no means least. Now the Monarch is a Mayhem 6 exclusive. It drops from Kilovolt, and you can randomly get it from the Guardian takedown bosses as a Mayhem 6 exclusive. The Monarch comes in a ×4 and a ×8 variant. My personal favorite is the ×4 because you spend less time reloading, but if you have a short DPS window, then obviously the ×8 works for you. This one I have is corrosive, on my Gamma Burst build, but next to mags works exceptionally well. Consecutive hits as well works really good. The Monarch itself can come in a bipod and a non-bipod mode. When you are in bipod mode, you do not have mobility, but what you do have is a ton of damage that you can just absolutely slaughter enemies. I don't have my anointment active right now, as you see this, and then once I have my anointment active, you'll see that we will just literally just hose enemies down in the takedown. This is true takedown again. These are actually flesh enemies as well, so the radiation is working well, but the corrosive element of this Monarch isn't actually really active right now, and as you can see, we just absolutely chew through the enemies. With bipod mode, you can see here I am slowed down, but you can use it in non-bipod mode and still have an effective amount of damage. Just bear in mind you're not having the full amount of pellets when you're in non-bipod mode, but you do gain that maneuverability back. And as you can see, the weapon is still very effective. Guys, let me know in the comments section below if you think that anything else should have appeared on this list for the top 5 best assault rifles now in Borderlands 3. These will be the final series, I think, as the level cap has now reached level 72. If you've enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing to the channel or join us over on Twitch. We stream 5 times a week, and otherwise, I'll catch you on the flip.